Hello, legends. We're back here for our Friday night update. The Warriors up against the Raiders. It was so nice to watch this. Almost shed a tear just before this game here when Croker ran out with his young fella Rory. Very, very cute moment. Amazing, obviously. Everyone absolutely loves Croak, and it's good to get one of the good guys, their 300th, one of 18 that have done it for just one club. So very special. Unfortunately, it wasn't the best night for Raiders and their fans who came and watched that one. Got absolutely smashed by the Warriors, and what a performance that was by the New Zealand Warriors. Raiders were solid. They looked very tired in that second half. Potentially, expelled a lot of energy, emotional energy in that pre-game, and then in the first half, they could not get through the Warriors' defense basically until that ricochet from Jack White, and so really amazing defense from the Warriors they displayed. And then when they got their opportunity to attack, they were electric. And kick it off with SJ. What an incredible player. He has turned his career around and he has been amazing. His goal kicking, for one, just straight as an arrow. He's been, slotting them from everywhere. Plenty from the sideline, from that right touchline, which you'd find would be a lot harder for the guys that just, curl them a little bit there. But to come on and get that gift of a try after he got his nose absolutely whacked, very glad that he was able to come back on. Means it'll be completely sweet for round 17. And those that did trade him in, I believe there was 69-70 or something from the top 1,000 that added him to their squad. So I think he's probably just over 90% in the top 1,000 now. Averaging 64 for the season is absolutely incredible. To get 75 in the 68 minutes here, 3 try assists and the try to go along with good kick meters and run meters there. Anyone who has missed out on SJ it's been a shocker, to be honest with you. And if you started with him, kudos to you. Like, obviously got him in very early, sort of round 4, I believe, for myself. And that was, terrific time to grab him. I think he got 70 odd the first game I brought him in, but if you started with him, you got all those as well. Incredible there. Speaking of, this was a great game fantasy-wise for myself. The second one, not so much, and just an early congratulations to all the Ruben Garrick owners, because that was an absolute display of perfection. I'll just speak on that now. Just that right side, people were worried about him going to the center. I wouldn't want him in the centers on the left, to be honest with you. It would have been there with Bullymore, Fainu there, and then Tuapolotu. Whereas you go to the right side, he has DCE, Olakwatu running off them, and then Saab on his outside, who he can get the ball to, or if he makes a half break, get it to Saab, and he can run off and get try assists and that. I thought that was the correct side for him, and he looked electric. Whether there was one play there where he got that kick, obviously, over the top. He was on the wing at that point, so he was able to mix between the both, and we'll get to that game in a sec, but it was an absolute drubbing from the Manly boys. The Dolphins didn't exactly turn up, and that allowed Garrick to score amazingly well. So thankfully I have him in Supercoach. Don't have him in fantasy, but for the 25% of people that do in the top 1,000, after his bye last week and the 39 the round before, you absolutely got rewarded. So well done there. But Corey Horsburgh, 66 in this one. He had no turnover tackles, so all in base basically. He had 1 offload to ground, 2 tackle breaks, which offset by the 2 missed tackles, but 52 tackles in the middle there. Massive minutes and 126 meters gained. So impressive from Hors. And for us guys that brought him in a bunch of weeks ago, it's worked out great. He had that sin bin the first week I brought him in. But since then, he's been electric. And I know a few guys from private group and guys I know that brought him in for that 70 odd that he got the week before we all grabbed him. And amazing stuff. Josh Papali'i with a try. Again here, I think I said he played 228 matches with Jared Croker. So that is incredible there. For Papali'i there, and to get a try in this match was obviously helpful. Wade Egan, a great game from him. Welcome back to some of the efforts that he was displaying in the beginning of the season when he was scoring super well. Still averaging 46.7 there. Got the 60 with a try in this one. Tohu Harris, just an absolute warrior, isn't he? Like, he is on one leg at the moment for sure. And to still, thankfully for him, get a little rest at 74 minutes done. So when the game seems to be done, he'll get his rest, and if it's not, he'll play that full 80. But a terrific try assist for Tomale for his first NRL try. A great line run, and Tohu's ball play is terrific. So well done to him there. Obviously no tackle breaks, no offloads. Did have a turnover tackle in there, which was good. And 58. So he's obviously scoring above where he's priced at, which is great. But I doubt he's going to have the excessive sort of 65 to 70 points, just because he's not exactly 100% with us. His knee isn't anyway. And some of those missed tackles where he would normally reel them in, or just have a little bit more mobility or a little bit more speed to be able to get these guys when they're trying to when they're sneaking through a gap, or they're just a little bit faster than him at the moment, he's just falling off those tackles, or he's just going hands at them rather than able to get his full body into it. So that's where he's not that sort of must-have. If you brought him in the last few weeks, it's been great, but I hope that this week off coming gives him a good time to rest, and we'll see what happens with him from there. But he was great as well. Adam Finwell-Blake, the 56 on his part with the 64 minutes. Just wasn't much on the attacking side, but big run meters again at 207 and did a great job. Okay, let's compare the pair, because I could have gone for Ruben Garrick, or I could have gone for Chance Sigel-Klukstad. And I got Chance probably about 75 to 80k at less, and he didn't have the bye in round 13. So if you actually put their scores together, Chance got a 75, a 39, and then a 56. So you put all them together, that's a lot of points. And the other alternative was going Garrick, and you obviously wouldn't expect him to hit 100, but he got a 39 and the 104. So that's 140 odd. He's going to have to hit, obviously with Chance's bye this week, Garrick's going to have to hit a 40 odd to even out with Garrick, with Chance there. So that's just something to note as well, that yes, you got the amazing score this week, awesome stuff. But someone like myself, I went with Chance, and I'm probably going to net close to the same score that you guys got between those couple of weeks. So that's just something to think about when you're looking at those guys. And I got Chance for cheaper. So yeah, until this week, I was absolutely dominating. You've clawed back a bit, but that's just something to look at as well. If you're like, oh, I missed out on Garrick, just look at the guy that you traded in instead. Because it was in round 13, there was a bunch of guys you could have selected. It was Ponga, Chance, it was Garrick. Some people went Ponga and Garrick, some people went Chance and Ponga. Whatever combination you did, just look at the net points that you get out of them, and that should make you feel a bit better, because that's how I look at it for sure. It definitely helps, watching Garrick just run over for try assist. Looking at Chance, I just want to say I'm so impressed with how he's playing. The effort that he puts in, the multiple runs in sets, is exactly what you want from a great fullback in this game. Had a couple offloads there, he had the 6 tackle breaks, he got his try, and what I was saying in that round 13 was that he just hadn't had any tries all year, but from round 1, and it was bound to happen, the try assists and the tries for him at some point, but just because he's always there around the play. He has made so much cash for us. It's amazing in that 3-week span. Scoring 180 odd points to average just a tad over 6, or around that 60 mark, or just below in that 3 weeks is amazing. So yeah, well done to Chance. Very, very happy with that trade in for sure. It's worked out great. Lukey Metcalf, he looked much more himself in this game, so that's great news. And obviously heading into round 17, the way they played in this one, I think Metcalf deserves to keep his spot. Back running the footy well, 91 run meters for 7 tackle breaks with 2 line breaks and a try. Exactly what you wanted here. And that run off that SJ bullet pass was amazing. So Metcalf, if you traded him in, he got a 39 average in the 3 games. And this is the week where he gains that big cash. Coming into round 17, though, he's going to be one of those guys that plays the rest of those bye games if he gets named. So we should know if Tamari Martin is back by that point after their bye. And he'll be around that sort of 360 odd, I'd say, after this 54, 360, 370, and be a cheap guy that plays all of those games and maybe throughout the rest of the season, but we will see. And he will get better and better as he feels more comfortable. I was very worried as he was running down that sideline at full speed, and that's what we saw with Luke Brooks with his hammy going. I was like, oh, Metcalf, don't do it. It didn't happen, thankfully. Just remember, guys, got a little soft spot for Metcalf. He's good friends with a bunch of my friends there. He went to school with them, so very cool that he's getting his opportunity finally. Fogs with 47 was fine. Hudson Young, 41. Tuppenny's the big one here with 40. So big minutes again, but just the negatives were there. Negative 10, 2 tackle breaks, no offloads, only 29 tackles. So for Taps there, not exactly what you're looking for. Obviously, the last couple of weeks haven't been great, and he's still been getting the big minutes. So great that he's getting the big minutes with all of their guys back. Basically, Whitehead was there. You had Hudson Young. Obviously, Paps was there as well. So everyone was there. Him and, Corey Horsburgh, the guys getting those big minutes. And you just want better scores. Like, he was getting better scores than this in 47 minutes, and now the extra 15 minutes he's going lower. Really, really frustrating. So I think you definitely hold Taps, because if there'll be games where those minutes that he gets, he'll go nuts like he did a few weeks ago. But if you trade him in after that 70 odd, it hasn't worked out, unfortunately. Bin that to pin might come back. Matt Timoko, 40 in this one. He was solid, obviously. But yeah, you got to note that the Warriors dominated this game. So for Timoko to get 40 in this one, pretty good with just the one negative there. Ali, he was great on debut for the Warriors there. His defense was awesome. 18 tackles, 0 misses. That's exactly what the Warriors needed. They needed an outside back. They have plenty of workhorses in terms of running the footy back in Montoya, in Dallin, in Chance. They need someone that's really good on the edge as a defensive player. And there was a bunch of times where he shot out of the line or he was great one-on-one. For him to have 18 tackles, 0 misses on his debut was incredible. So, well done to him. He's someone I'm going to have to learn his name because I think he's going to get plenty more games in this Warriors jersey and in the NRL in general. What about Tom Ali? 34 points in 12 minutes. That's all he got in the end. So there you go. Croaks there, 33 for anyone who owns him. But just yeah, shout out to him for his 300th. Again, Pompey, again, solid. So it's one missed tackle for him. Exactly what you're looking for there. Niokore, not his best game. 30 tackles, 4 misses. And obviously the sin bin along with Mitch Barnett. So for them to have 2 sin bins and still win this game, candidly, was pretty ridiculous, to be honest with you, how well they're playing at the moment. And you get Dallin with a very low game for him. 3 missed tackles, 2 errors, and a penalty. 15 there. And it's exactly what you're going to see sometimes from these outside backs that, obviously try to do their job well, but sometimes just doesn't work out. How cheap's Josh Curran going to be next year, by the way? So, yeah, that's that. But Dallin only 95 meters run, so wasn't his game as much as it has been in the last month, let's say. We spoke about Garrick, just incredible. 9 goals, 3 tries, had a try saver as well. Ugh, yuck. Exactly what you're looking for as an owner, as a non-owner, isn't it? Just for them to get that turnover tackle and try saver as well. But 104 points, amazing work from him. He's lost 94k this year. He'll quickly make that back with a bunch of good scores here. So obviously, Manly absolutely dominated this one. Dolphins were very bad. Shout out to one of the boys in my private group, Matty, that had a same game multi that had an under 71.5 as like his $1.02 or whatever that was, just to make the same game multi 3-legger, and then they score 76 points. Absolutely ridiculous. So sorry, Matty, that was a tough one. So Garrick, that's it. We spoke about him enough. Lockie Croker, 74, had 60 minutes, but was terrific. That kick that he did when he was getting tackled, amazing. Tommy Trbojevic looked amazing again. They had spiders on him in that first half, and he had 4 tackle breaks, so a lot of time they just weren't even laying a hand. But if they did lay a hand, he was getting an offload away very, very easily. So he was great. For anyone who held on to him, he'll make lots of cash, especially when you didn't expect him to be back this game with the concussion thing. So yeah, I bet the Dolphins were ruining that he ended up getting allowed to play. Olakau'atu in this one, 53. He was solid. Obviously, that line break try assist, very, very easy. And the defense in this for the Dolphins was so bad for the most part. Those tries early were so soft. So soft. DCE was on 30 apparently, and then gets 18 in update. So yeah, I was trying to work out how and why he was so low in this game. A lot of time he was the second to last pass. He was passing just before the line and putting blokes through half breaks who are getting away offloads, and he was just setting everything up perfectly. And really, to have 1 offload to ground, 2 tackle breaks of 1 try in this game is a bit of a crime. 2 forced dropouts. He was incredible. He orchestrated that whole thing and only got 48 points. So shows that fantasy is not the be-all, end-all sometimes. Go to Nikorima. That bullet pass, left to right, that fizzer that he did to Sako, shows the talent that some of these guys have, hey. That was amazing. He went across 3 defenders, 2 of his own attacking players. Just an amazing pass. So yeah, well done to Nikorima and all your owners. He's made well over 250k. We're looping him in the people's squads. Who also has Garrick, so a good start there. But yeah, amazing from Nikorima. If you want to sell him next week, you definitely can. I'm happy for you to hold as well, considering he'll be a number from 17 to 20. Paseka had a line break. He was solid, did his job, didn't have to tackle too much, obviously. 22 tackles for no misses. Kolar got stood up by Hammer. How good's Hammer look sometimes? Wow. Bit soft in that chase down for that defense, I'll say, for the try to Kolar. When he was chasing it down, it was very much a relaxing run, especially when we know how fast he is. So that wasn't great. Sabi, Kolar, 2 tries each. Ray Stone, 62 minutes, got his 43, even though he didn't start. So that was great for anyone who did decide to pick him up. 2 missed tackles in a game where they got absolutely trounced. It was a good result. Hammer with 2 tries. Again, just not much he could do. Lem, he had -6 in this one. No tackle breaks, which I did definitely see him get 1. And an offload in this one. He is a very damaging ball runner. I think they need to get him more pill. But obviously in this game, it wasn't going to happen. 100 meters run, exactly what you'd expect in this type of game. We'll hope that he'd be able to get. Just no attacking stats. Just wasn't really his game. 38 will take. He'll obviously lose some money, but everyone basically owns him. Anyway, if you're in the top 5K. Bullymore 35. I could tell 35 there. He was solid, kind of was okay. I don't know. 2 forced dropouts helped out a little bit. Ran the ball a lot more than normal. 4 missed tackles, just nothing else from there. So if you had to play him, you'll take the 35. Asako back down to earth. He had the line break try, 3 goals there, but they got smashed. That's never going to work out. Valence Tafare got named at lock, ended up spending the majority of the game at centre with Branko Lee going down with his ankle injury in the end. So Valence, likely to keep that spot if it's longer term. I haven't heard what it is with Branko yet, but Val with 34, he's so tough to get down. He's such a thick boy, isn't he? Samuel Afenu, that was the interesting one. We kind of found out on like Wednesday that there was a chance that Bullymore would get into that starting side, and that's exactly what happened. But Fanu came on, Bullymore went into the middle at about that 30-minute mark, and he ended up playing the rest of the game. And he does look pretty solid, to be honest with you guys. He had one bad pass there when they were trying to send it out wide and just passed it straight into the Dolphins, but did end up with a kick deflection or knockdown, and then a pass for, who was it? Collar? Yeah, for Collar to run the length. So he got his try assist there. Couple of kick defusals, so he's really working hard on that side of the ball as well. So a 30 for him. If you did bring him in, it works out fine. He's obviously, he will be a number next week, likely to be that 50-minute role. Hopefully a 25 or 30 points for you guys that picked him up. I decided to leave him just because he was, there was a chance that he was going to be on the bench, and when he did get named, I did not make the trade. That was that. What do we got? Jeremy Marshall King, 24. Unfortunately, that just aggravated that AC joint injury. Not great. I own him in Supercoach. That hurt me. So in Supercoach, you don't get try savers either, so I didn't even get that. Which hurts. I think it was at 20. So not great there. Schuster with 1 try assist. That was a good little kick through, but again, not an option as we know. And Weeks did not play in this one. For anyone who's thinking, who was thinking about him, hopefully he does play next week. But interesting to see if Garrick keeps his spot at centre, or if he goes back to fullback and Weeks into another position there, like 7. But anyway, that is the 2 games from Friday night, 3 today, which is exciting. 1 Sunday, 1 Monday. So big games of footy today. Kicking off with the Bunnies. I mean, interesting to see how they'll go against the Dragons with a few of their guys out. But I wish you all the best of luck for the rest of your players, and we'll see you in the next one.